national hero is back home, this time in the dugout.
Hello Africa, great to see you again. You are watching WION The World is One. This week on the show, the World Health Body vaccine experts have recommended a full-scale human trial of the only existing approved Ebola vaccine to see if it offers cross-protection against a deadly strain spreading in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The World Health Organization also admitted health authorities are still playing catch-up. I'm Eric Njoka, and this is World of Africa. The World Health Organization says the death toll from the Ebola epidemic is continuing to rise, as well as the infections. 2 potential Bundibugyo vaccines are in the early stages of clinical trials on humans, while a third is being worked on to bring it to that stage. Around 87% of cases in the DRC outbreak are in the northeastern Ituri province, with 11% in neighboring North Kivu. Here is our cover report. The latest Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo began at least 3 months before it was officially declared, meaning the health authorities are still playing catch-up. And that's a warning from the World Health Organization. More than 1,900 people have died from the virus since that declaration on May 15th, making this the second worst Ebola outbreak ever. Infection rates are still high, adding to the concern that the authorities are struggling to get to grips with the spread of the disease. The epicenter of this outbreak of the Bundibugyo species of Ebola is in the east of Congo, where insecurity has hampered control efforts. There is also no approved vaccine or any recognized therapeutic drugs, making treating Bundibugyo harder.
Very important. We don't have a licensed vaccine, neither therapeutics. So if we expect this Ebola to be the same way we did in Bulape, no. And other factors which you know. Insecurity, places where we cannot reach, we are only seeing 30%, where the 70% people dying at home. This is why this Ebola is different.
Traditional burial practices where mourners touch the deceased's body and a suspicion of health authorities in some communities have also made things difficult. But there are now several dedicated treatment centers in the east of the Democratic Republic of Congo, and people are getting diagnosed much more quickly. So far, there have been 4,294 confirmed cases and 1,960 deaths. The largest recorded outbreak was in West Africa between 2014 and 2016, when 11,325 people died. Congolese authorities are carrying out Ebola and cholera screening for all 255 passengers aboard a boat intercepted on the Congo River. The Yingfei 2, operated by a Chinese company, was halted near Bende Port, some 65 kilometers upstream from the capital, Kinshasa. But there's a little ray of hope on the horizon.
So having people who recover tells us two things. 5 people are likely also to recover, and we can do more. We can do more. We can scale up optimized intensive care.
Next door in Uganda, a country that also reported infections in May, the picture is entirely different. The country's health minister described a moment of joy as the last Ebola patient was released from hospital 2 weeks ago. Uganda only ever recorded 20 cases and 2 deaths from the virus.
If you have systems where you can do early diagnosis and patients come into your care early enough, then they can be treated and they are cured of Ebola disease. The 2 cases that died, the issue was they presented late when they had developed severe complications like bleeding and so forth. So meaning our systems should have capacity to do early detection, early diagnosis, and then early treatment.
The Gavi Global Vaccine Alliance maintains a stockpile of 500,000 Ervebo doses. It says doses from the stockpile were to be made available for the trials, with some already in the DRC. Africa Bureau, WION World is One. Zambia is in one of its most unpredictable elections in years. More than 8 million registered voters will choose a president and a new parliament. Hichilema Hakainde wants 5 more years after his 2021 landslide win over Edgar Lungu on a platform of change. Yet, what many expected to be a relatively straightforward contest this time has been reshaped by Lungu's death, the late Sarge of opposition challenger Brian Mudulidbe, persistent cost of living pressures, and questions about electoral credibility.
Zambia is gearing up for an election in which President Hakainde Hichilema is seeking a second term and is widely seen as the favorite to win, but may face a strong challenge from the opposition leader Brian Mundubile. The vote is shaping up as a referendum on his economic record after he took office in 2021. Inheriting a country reeling from a sovereign debt default. Africa's second largest copper producer has enjoyed an economic rebound supported by high copper prices after restructuring its debt. Annual inflation slowed to 6.5% in June 2026, its lowest level in more than 8 years, underscoring the recovery. The president is highlighting social programs and economic gains as he campaigns across the country. But he says there is more needed to be done. Although Hichilema benefits from incumbency and improving economic data, analysts say voter concerns over living costs and the strength of the opposition coalition could determine whether he secures victory in the first round.
We have done many things, yes, but there's a lot of more work to be done. Are we together? Yes. Life is still challenging. Life is still challenging for a lot of our people. A lot of our families still need a support that is beyond what we are delivering today.
The election comes as Zambia seeks to build on an economic recovery, while many voters continue to feel the effects of high living costs and power shortages that have dominated public debate in recent years. At a recent National Reconciliation Party for Unity and Prosperity, or the NRPUP, rally in Lusaka, supporters sang and danced as they gathered behind opposition leader Brian Mundubile. Many carried placards highlighting electricity shortages and economic hardship, underscoring concerns the opposition hopes will translate into votes on election day. Supporters complained about rising fuel and food costs and the impact power cuts have had on households, students and businesses. The opposition has sought to channel that frustration into support at the ballot box.
The economy is worse. I remember there was a time I was writing exams. Then I discovered that all my phones, my laptop and my power bank are off and tomorrow I have exams. Oh God, I suffered. And these are challenges. Electricity may seem to be stable right now, but we know for sure that if we bring back HH, for sure things will go back to where as they were.
When you look on paper, of course, the economy seems to be doing well, but we are not yet feeling the impact. But I can say change takes time, and I believe it should start from the paper and before it comes and it affects every one of us.
Political analysts say economic pressures are likely to weigh heavily on the voters' decisions, particularly in urban areas where living costs remain a major concern. Governance issues have featured in the campaign, although analysts say pocketbook concerns are likely to be foremost in many voters' minds.
But overall, among the majority of our population, particularly in urban areas, the cost of living is a major factor. Among the elite, the issue of governance is also a factor.
Polls and analysts broadly expect Hichilema to win the re-election, but opposition parties continue to bet that voter dissatisfaction over living costs can energize support for change. Africa Bureau, WION World is One.
Let's head to East Africa. A charity in Kenya is helping children that rely on a wheelchair get access to one using a novel idea. Bethany Kids pays farmers for locally sourced bamboo, which is used to create prototype wheelchairs at workshops by technicians, also funded by the charity.
In Kenya, this wheelchair for children could be the design of the future. According to youngsters who've tried these alternative bamboo wheelchairs, they are lighter, more robust, and easier to use. This workshop in Kijabi is making the wheelchairs for Bethany Kids, a charity that aims to help disabled youngsters find independence, enabling them to get to school where they can study and make friends. Traditional wheelchairs are usually imported and too expensive for many Kenyan families to buy. According to the Bethany Kids website, the organization has matched 3,096 children with wheelchairs since 2017.
In our country, we don't have pediatric wheelchairs. These are wheelchairs for children. Most of the wheelchairs that are out there are meant for adults. So there's a big gap for children's wheelchairs. So that's why we really wanted to bridge that gap to make sure that also the young children who are in need of wheelchairs get access to these products.
Technicians are cutting, treating, and assembling locally sourced bamboo into wheelchair frames aimed at producing an affordable product. The bamboo is treated to protect it from termites before being cut and measured, while many of the remaining components are also sourced from local manufacturers. The organization estimates the bamboo wheelchairs could cost less than $77 to make. 8-year-old Annabelle Ndanu has brittle bone disease and for now is using this traditional wheelchair. Her mother, Caroline Nduku, says a wheelchair would have been far too expensive for her to afford.
To tell you the truth, the money I needed to buy a wheelchair for my child, I couldn't have managed because I needed almost $386. So by luck, well-wishers gave my child a wheelchair, and if they didn't help me, my child wouldn't have any wheelchair to use.
Kama si kusaidiwa mimi mtoto wangu angepata kitu ya kutembea nayo.
The prototype wheelchairs at this workshop are designed to be lighter than conventional metal models, making them easier for users to propel and for caregivers to lift into vehicles. According to Kenya's National Council for Persons with Disabilities, about 500,000 individuals need wheelchairs, highlighting the scale of the unmet demand.
Bamboo is very strong. It's strong and very light, and so compared to other wheelchairs that we have in the country, weight has been the biggest issue, especially for transport purposes. And the parents and the users want to cut on weight, and so when you compare the weight of bamboo and the other wheelchairs, this is much lighter.
For now, however, the bamboo wheelchair remains at the prototype stage as developers continue testing its design and durability before wider rollout. Africa Bureau, WION, World is One.
And we are still in East Africa. Africa's lions are under pressure from shrinking habitat, growing settlements, and conflict with people living close to wildlife areas. The warning comes as conservationists marked Wild Lion Day, with experts in Kenya pointing to retaliatory killings and poisoning as major threats to the continent's top predator.
Brushing through the grass at Old Pejeta Conservancy and tearing into flesh as they feed, these lions represent both Kenya's wildlife wealth and one of its hardest conservation tests. They're a big draw for tourists and photographers, and a top predator with an important role in the ecosystem. But across Africa, lion populations have fallen sharply by 43% in 2 decades, according to the Africa Wildlife Foundation. In Kenya, the population is now on the decline.
Kenya's lion populations, which number about 2,500 to 2,600, face the major threat facing their conservation and their future well-being is habitat loss and fragmentation. Human-wildlife conflict is major. Some lions are also killed, poached, but that's not so big here in Kenya. So the major threat is loss of habitat and therefore loss of prey, but also conflict with people is major.
The same pressures are being felt beyond Kenya. Conservationists estimate Africa's lion population at around 20,000 to 23,000, with expanding settlements, livestock grazing, and the loss of prey, reshaping landscapes where lions once had more room to move. The pressure is especially sharp around the edges of protected areas. Research in the Masai Mara has found that lions avoid areas used by livestock, even after the animals have moved away. That doesn't just reduce the space available to them. It can also push lions closer to homes and herds, where a predator's search for prey can become a direct loss for families.
Probably with the increase in the population of people, the increase in livestock in those areas has led drastically to lions and other predators starting to prey on livestock. And one of the ways to have that finish is to put down a poison called Furtherdan, which originally was actually part of a pesticide.
Earlier this year, 6 lions and dozens of vultures were poisoned in Kenya's Amboseli area, a place known internationally for its wildlife. The incident showed how conflict over livestock can quickly become a wider conservation crisis. Poisoning is more likely when people feel wildlife brings cost without enough benefit, whether through lost animals, damaged livelihoods, or slow responses after attacks.
Poisoning happens when people get aggrieved, when they see nothing is being done, when they see wildlife is very costly. How can we turn wildlife into an asset? We have already covered some of that through conservation enterprise, through providing employment, and through reducing the cost of living with wildlife. That's how people can start to see this is an asset. This is not always a loss to me. And poisoning, unfortunately, will kill animals that were not targeted. It might even kill people.
Conservationists say protecting lions can't mean ignoring the people who live alongside them. Kenya's 160 conservancies hope to ensure conservation can protect wildlife while also supporting local livelihoods. Africa Bureau WION, World is One.
Kano State in Nigeria married off 1,500 couples in a single ceremony on Friday as part of a government initiative to help low-income residents cover marriage costs and support family stability. According to state officials, the nuptials were funded by the state's social welfare program and brought together couples from all 44 local government areas.
Celebrations have turned the northern Nigerian city of Kano into a riot of color and excitement over the last week as 1,500 couples married at a mass wedding. For days, the city's streets have been buzzing with bridal parties and their families preparing outfits and attending other organized events. Brides in red hijabs with grooms in matching. Red hats and white robes went to the palace of the Emir, the city's traditional Muslim leader, for the main ceremony where they officially became husband and wife. The nuptials culminated on the weekend with a wedding breakfast hosted by Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf, who offered his blessing to the newlyweds. The Kano state government sponsored this initiative, spending 1.5 billion naira, or roughly $1 million, to support those tying the knot, providing the bride's dowry and furniture for the couple's first home. The scheme targets low-income individuals who cannot afford the significant financial costs associated with marriage.
I chose to be part of the marriage to make things easy for the bride and her family and for my family also. The whole idea for the marriage is to help our families and we husbands who are not financially stable to marry. That's why the government is helping us get married.
The state government has spent approximately 1 million naira on each participating couple. According to the Hisba, the support package a couple receives includes essential household items, beds, mattresses, bed sheets, pillows, furniture, and food supplies needed to establish a new home. Each bride receives a dowry of 100,000 naira, while a further 100,000 is provided as startup capital to encourage small-scale entrepreneurship and help the couple achieve financial self-reliance after marriage. All intending couples must undergo comprehensive medical examinations, including tests for HIV, hepatitis, pregnancy, and genotype compatibility, before being cleared for the program.
I wouldn't want to say this, but I'll say it anyway. It's not poverty that made me to be part of this mass wedding, but the life that I found myself in. This life has turned into something else, beyond human imagination. That's why when I heard about the mass wedding, I happily enrolled.
It will take several more days for the excitement to die down in Kano, as the newlyweds busy themselves with setting up home together.
Honestly speaking, if it wasn't for the mass wedding, I wouldn't have gotten married even in the next 5 years, due to the hardship of life. But since relief came from the government, I accepted it in good faith. God bless the governor.
The annual event was initiated in 2012 by the then governor, when 100 couples, primarily widows and divorcees, wed at the palace. The mass weddings have continued under subsequent governors, with numbers expanding each year as demand has grown and included those in polygamous Muslim marriages. Such is the popularity of the scheme that 5,000 couples applied this year. Africa Bureau, WION, World is One.
Thank you, Africa, for watching the show this week. Get in touch with us on our website, wionnews.com, and social media platforms like Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and share your stories with us. We'd love to highlight them to the world. This is WION World is One. I'm Eric Njoka. Goodbye.
Once a year, grown men in this city put on three-piece suits, or well, at least a blazer, in 40-degree heat and call it a good idea. This is the distinguished gentleman's rite. It happens on the same day in over 100-odd countries. And it started, of all places, with a photograph. A bloke in Sydney saw visuals of a television character, remember Mad Men, and thought, why don't men dress like that anymore? Men don't gather like that anymore. So he put it online, a few mates, nice clothes, old motorcycles. That was 2012. Today it is one of the largest motorcycle events on earth. And we'll get to this, it isn't really about the motorcycles at all. Motorcycling is about escaping things. It's about getting out there and getting away from the realities of your life and getting some time to yourself. But this is not about escapism. It's more about, in fact, confronting the things that we don't usually talk about. Men's health and mental illness. So, well, we take it on the chin and riding on, but we're still talking about it. And I think that's a step in the right direction. So, there you go, folks. Gentlemen for a day, if not longer.